You're listening to Completing the Shelf, a nerd review podcast where two brothers take a deep dive into all of the corners of nerd culture, from film and television to video games, graphic novels, and whatever else we're passionate about.
Wow, the Nintendo Switch press conference finally happened. I feel like I've been waiting like 400 years for this to occur since they announced they were making a new console back in, 2015? I am curious, because you haven't obviously been following it as hard as I am, because I'm an insane maniac.
I'm a casual Nintendo fan.
What did you think overall? Like, no specifics of this presentation. How would you grade them? How do you feel after it? What do you take from it?
Since I'm a teacher, I'd give them a C+.
C+.
I was underwhelmed with the presentation.
You're not alone. You were definitely not alone. I think that's an opinion that's pretty prevalent.
Pacing, super slow. It was dead, a little goofy at times. The products that I went in looking forward to, obviously I was happy with, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But overall, it was kind of slow and plodding and boring.
Yeah,
not flashy. There was no hype building.
I feel that when trailers were on the screen, when there was a video, it was at its best. When Kyoyumi, I think his name was on the stage, he was pretty like engrossingly weird. I enjoyed him. That was the guy that was in all the trailers. So was that the main guy
that talked most of the time?
Yes, it was. He was in all the trailers.
I called him the Japanese Ricky Ricardo because he looked like Ricky Ricardo. I don't know why.
Wow.
Every time I hear Ricky.
I found him because let me break down from the hardcore. This is the first stage presentation Nintendo's done since 2012 E3. They have not done one. Ever since E3 and everything. It's been recorded, fast edited things that are planned perfectly with there's no live aspect to them. So for one, it's just, even if this was perfect, like it was a great presentation, it would have just been weird to me because I've been watching for 4 years now them doing it a different way. Even if it wasn't this slow-paced thing. But of course, this reminded me of me watching, Microsoft E3 presentations where there are just parts you just look at your phone. And I haven't had that with Nintendo in a while because, they haven't had this type of presentation. So it is kind of, jarring just to have, just a guy on stage talking.
Yeah, it was not engaging at all unless there's a video.
The videos were easily the best. Yeah, the best part of the whole thing.
Except for the demo of the hardware, like the Joy-Cons or whatever they were called. Yeah. That was pretty interesting, and I was like, all right, let's nerd out on this. But other than that, when he's laying on the couch, I was like, okay.
Well, you know what? That actually, they didn't convey that great, but that's an actually really cool point is you can play. Sure. Normally you have to bring your hands up and your controller's there, but really you just break the controller in half and you can completely relax and still play the function.
I use the nunchuck and the Wiimote like that,
Exactly, but
just laying down.
This is just a, it would act as a normal controller, unlike those two. It would still have all the functions.
I can't wait to talk about the hardware in part 2 because that's the thing I'm most excited about, where I see the most promise. Okay. But let's continue on with the games.
So, the first game they showed off was the, I wish they had the Ice Cube simulator, because but really the first real game they showed off was 1-2 Switch. So and that will launch day of the system, March 3rd. What did you think of 1-2 Switch? How do you feel about that one?
From the video, I didn't get it a lot, what they were trying to convey.
It's very quick. It's very they don't sit on any shot for a second.
After I've done some more research, I understand and in the presentation, it's face-to-face interaction gameplay near the
which is interesting. That's that doesn't exist,
And you can definitely see the evolution in console and game design.
That was a great point that guy made.
Absolutely.
This generations of all this technology put into this one thing. Now with
And you can see that with 1-2 Switch.
now,
Like,
obviously, 1-2 Switch is their casual play. This is their casual play. This is their Wii Sports or Wii Play. I'm probably closer to Wii Play because it's all mini games. You've never
Yeah,
played
yeah.
a WarioWare game, but this is screams WarioWare. WarioWare is the
I
split,
play it with you.
Yeah, it's these split-second mini games that are just like really concise, the simple, easy to grasp. But this is even more casual and everything because there's no barrier. It's just you physically move that way instead of pressing buttons.
And
So-
the face-to-face interaction seems to be where they were trying to go there. More personable,
I
more
could
human.
see this being a good time.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not pack-in, it's not in the system. You don't get it with you. It's not free. You have
Yeah, I'm
to
not
pay
gonna
extra
buy
for
it.
it. Yeah, if it was packed in, great, sure. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy to have it. I'll probably enjoy it. But I mean, maybe it's cheap. But if it's $60, I'm out. You know, I'm not getting any 1-2 Switch, especially when they have much better launch games that come out the
Sure.
same day that we'll get to. But then after 1-2 Switch, they also were like hinting at this more deep Joy-Con based game called the best title ever, I might add, ARMS.
Yeah, I
Comes out in spring. It's not a launch title. It comes out spring 2017. At least they haven't said it.
Yeah, the fact with that, okay. They're like, oh yes, that was our simple game, the 1-2 Switch. Now here's the deep immersive one.
It wasn't immersive. They did not say
Arms.
immersive. They said
Arms.
they had depth in combat. Now,
Yeah.
this is easily their play at like the internet, like Overwatch kind of fan base. I don't know if you've heard of that game, but it's very.
I have, but I don't.
It's designed in a way that caters to like I would say preteen teen, at least
Okay.
design aspect. Now, of course, it looks like motion wise is going to be like perfect 1-to-1 kind of thing.
Sure.
Now, I
The
watched.
technology is impressive.
I watched the Treehouse live stream, which they played this game extensively, and that did miles better than that trailer did to explain the depth of this game. Because
Oh, really?
what they did in the trailer, they had there's a couple characters, they all have different weapons, right? You noticed that, right?
I didn't notice any weapons.
Well, different fists.
Yeah, okay.
And so
Do the different fists have different
So
functions?
yeah,
and-
so each character controls differently. Some are fast, some are slow, some are heavy, some are that kind of thing. Some can
Okay.
jump, some can whatever, dodge quicker. But also they have weapons that the big guy, his big weapon, you can't block with your smaller weapon. You take that in advance. But if you notice, for a split second on the trailer, you see a selection menu of different arms you can put on. But in the trailer, they just used the generic one arm. You can
Sure.
customize each individual arm to 3 different types of arms that do completely different things. Some might shoot missiles. Some might
So here's the depth.
yeah. So here's my opponent. He's picking this arm and then this other arm from this character. His character's slow and big. I want to pick this arm and then this arm from my character because my character's fast and small. And each arm does a different thing. You can kind of counteract it. And it was like, okay,
You'll see, this sounds better. You're getting strategy and
Yes,
thinking
there's
here,
some depth
along with
here.
activity.
it's not just this one character is always this thing. No, if you have a character, they all have their own unique 3 set of arms that you can interchange, independently. Your right arm can be a 3-pronged missile. Your left arm can be the boxing one that curves. It looked much better on the live stream than in the trailer, which you needed to be better in the trailer. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
It-
Now, my problem, that sounds all great, and I
Mm-hmm.
like the depth. It seems a little more interesting of a game.
It seems pretty small though. Like, is there a
But-
campaign? Is there? I'm not
Exactly.
sure. Like,
I was going to say, am I going to buy this?
Is it
'Cause I don't
$60?
see myself playing this a lot, especially if I'm alone.
Yeah, it's I don't
Another
know.
party game.
It's probably a fun game to watch people play, I would say.
Sure.
More than just,
Well, and to play when you're with a bunch of people late at night or whatever, and you're just having fun. But, like, I see a game you play once in a while, and I'm sorry, like you said, there's a lot better games coming out. And this doesn't even launch with it, too. You have to wait till this later. What is it, early summer?
It's just spring. It's just spring
Okay.
right now. Now, one thing that I've heard that bugged me about people dismissing this game too much is I've heard the complaint over and over with this Switch thing is people complain Nintendo needs new IPs. By the way, they had this new IP called ARMS. Anyway, they need new IPs. They never make new IPs. It's like, well, they just did, and you completely ignored it.
I
Like,
think they mean with a character and a story
it is
and stuff.
it's a whole new IP. That's what it is. they even said this is Nintendo's new characters, and the guy said it, Koyumi. So I just feel like they tried, they gave you one, and you completely, it doesn't even count as a new IP. It's like, well, that's what they're doing.
Talking like they're probably talking about like Link, like a character, or Star Fox.
We don't know how deep this is. Again, when they announced like Splatoon in E3 2014, we had or 2015, we had no idea it was a single player, and then there was. It just took them a little bit to tell us. Speaking of Splatoon,
yeah, let's move into that.
Splatoon 2 got announced. Now this was one of my favorites of this.
I know you're in love with this game.
Big thing is, it's a shooter. Usually Call of Duty's, Battlefields, they're never too different from game to game.
Sure.
Because they come out every year. Splatoon came out 2 years ago, so automatically they had more time. And 2, this game has all new. I didn't see any maps that were the same. It has every special is different. There's not one reused special move in this game.
Really?
You know the meter that fills up and that special move comes out? Yeah. Every single one, there's no reuse. They're all new in this Splatoon 2. The graphics are improved. I especially noticed that in the Treehouse live stream where they played a couple matches. This game is faster pace. And again, the gyro's built in now, so you don't have to have a clunky gamepad. You have a nice controller now.
Okay.
So I was really that was it. That's when I got completely invested into this live stream, because I was like, okay, they found a game. It comes out in summer. That's not too long from now. That's a big title. That's one of their premier franchises, especially in Japan. It's selling. It's one of their million sellers on the Wii U, and that's tough to do on the Wii U because no one bought it. So
really,
this is a big deal because everyone was expecting this to just be Splatoon Definitive Edition or Splatoon HD, whatever. But it's a full-fledged sequel.
Deluxe.
You know what I mean? That's what's exciting. It's like I didn't expect it to be Splatoon 2. That's a great move to okay, this is value. It's not like we'll get to it. Mario Kart 8 where they just up-resed it. What do you think about Splatoon 2?
Well, frankly, I haven't spent enough time with Splatoon 1. I play it very casually once in a while. I always enjoy it, but I haven't trained enough to unlock the depth of it. No. I haven't played the first player at all, and most of my experience comes from watching you, and I still haven't perfected the gyro, all that stuff. So it's a good game. I think it has so much potential. Yeah. I can see how fun it is.
This was my top, one of my top favorite things they showed, and I was not expecting it to be a full-fledged sequel. Like where Mario Kart 8, we'll get into this now. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And now they did not really talk about this in the live stream. It's only if you looked it up. They didn't even mention it. They just showed it. It doesn't
make sense why they wouldn't.
And they gave a release date. April 28th is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe release date. So it's coming pretty soon, a month-ish after, about a month after the Switch launches. It should have been launch date, I feel. I mean, couldn't have been that hard to make. But so what's new about this one compared to Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U? Well, new characters. We got Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl from Splatoon is going to be in Mario Kart 8.
Sweet. King
Boo, Dry Bones, and Bowser Jr. So those are our new characters that are just going to be on the Deluxe. That's a new thing. They aren't on Wii U. You can't get them.
Okay.
So then you got the Splat Buggy, Ink Striker, and Clown Car as the new vehicles. Obviously, that matches up with the characters. And I'm sure they're nothing crazy, but that makes sense. Then the biggest addition, this is where this is the point of this is the big difference, is battle mode. Battle mode was not in 8, or it was, but it was just they reused all the tracks, and there was no. This one has new modes and all brand new tracks. Like one of the tracks is you drive around on one of the Splatoon stages from Splatoon. Like it's really cool.
That's cool. That's awesome.
This is like a legitimate upgrade. So this is obviously now it's easily the definitive edition of Mario Kart 8 because the battle mode sucked in the first one. So this is cool. Like that was exciting. That might be enough. It comes with all the DLC, so you won't have the, it just comes with Link and all that stuff. There are no new regular tracks though in Deluxe. It's all the same tracks.
Oh, okay.
So no single player tracks new to this. Now full 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is improved because it was just 720 on Wii U.
Now, is this a full-priced game?
I mean, Probably, I would assume.
See, that's a little disappointing. Like, I already have.
Now, there's
Mario
another
Kart
one
8.
more big, couple more big implementations. They adding a second item slot, like in Double Dash, to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's not a
Now,
thing in
that's
Mario
cool.
Kart 8. So that is actually
I
a
like
new
that.
thing. So every track is going to feel a little different just because of that
Sure.
extra strategy. Now they're coming out with a Joy-Con wheel, like the Wii wheel. That's going to come out. There's a new driving assist mode in this game, which means like it's an easy mode where you can't fall off the track ever.
It's like bumpers on bowling.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't let you fall off the track. So even more casual. And with Mario Kart, that's great because people who don't play games play this game. You know.
Exactly. That's why it's such an important franchise. I know it's a lot to ask, but I really wish they just had Mario Kart 9. Like a whole new game.
Well, it wouldn't be coming out April 28th. It'd be coming out April 28th, 2018, maybe. You know what I mean? That's
I hear
the
you.
difference.
Yeah. It's just, it's one of those cash grabs. I know they.
It's not even just a cash trap. I feel like it's just like, oh, we wasted this game on the Wii U. Everyone loves it. Jimmy Fallon plays it on like every other month, it feels like. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like this is just like to recoup. You know what I mean? Like what they should have got if their console was successful. Now, one more
But what
handheld.
about the people that bought all the DLC on Mario Kart 8, and so they've spent more than enough on Mario Kart 8. Now they're gonna plop it all down
Well,
again.
you don't have to buy it, but
I know.
battle mode's the
But,
biggest
I'm
thing.
gonna-
If you love battle mode, that makes it worth it for some people, because some people that's their favorite thing about Mario Kart 64 is battle mode,
Exactly, and as a fan of Mario Kart, it's like one of my favorite games
Exactly.
for Nintendo.
I mean, I would.
I am gonna want to have it
would
on my Switch.
I would still have fun with it, and the thing is that you can take it on the go with you anywhere you want. Like
Yeah,
in
that-
handheld mode, it runs at 720p, 60 frames per second, just because the screen doesn't.
Sure.
It's not 1080 screen, so
Yeah,
de-resing.
yeah.
Also, there are two new items as well. There's the Boo item, which makes you, if you drive, it lets you drive through people, and you steal their item while you drive through them, and you
Oh, man.
also turn invisible, so they can't even see you. Or it's like
That
it's
is
like
awesome.
translucent. It's not completely invisible.
Sure.
And Feather hasn't appeared since the original Super Mario Kart on SNES,
Sweet.
which pretty much lets you hop. You need to hop over obstacles or whatever. Those are all good things that it's obviously gonna be the best version, but it is
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
like I don't know. I don't know if maybe it gets cheaper, but Mario Kart still isn't cheaper on the Wii U. So
And like with limited budget, I don't
now
know.
I'd like
but
to say,
I'm gonna want it.
in defense of Nintendo, every company does this. The only,
Sure,
but the difference is,
absolutely.
like, at least they're adding features to it that weren't existent. Where a lot of companies just up-res and that's it. There's no
Yeah,
new.
that's true.
So this is actually adding several new features. It's almost making it feel different, but it's just same stages.
It would be cool if they added a whole nother track.
This might revitalize DLC again. They might start DLC up again with this
That's
game
true.
on the Switch, which would also be exciting because there's no better deal in DLC than the Mario Kart 8 DLC on Wii U. $12, you get 16 tracks and like 8 new
Yeah.
characters.
Can't beat it.
It's not like that was an amazing. That was like, what? How did they do that? So
See, I want the Super Smash Brothers equivalent of Mario Kart.
a lot of people were expecting that, and a lot of people were bummed out it wasn't there. So we don't know now. So we'll see if that comes out. I maybe it will.
I want a Samus racing besides Bowser.
Okay, so
Anyway.
now this is where I feel the stream dropped in quality the most when the third parties came up. I'm just going to mention real quick because nothing was there that was really exciting. Maybe it's because I don't care about them as much, but
True.
we got the Skyrim announcement. Cool, but it's in fall of 2017. It's like Skyrim's been out for 6 years. Why does it take another 9 months to get it out on Switch? You had EA there with FIFA. They didn't seem too enthused about supporting Nintendo yet again, but FIFA,
Yeah, I didn't care.
that's the biggest game franchise, right now. So
Sure.
NBA 2K18, that's a big deal. Nintendo hasn't had a 2K game since 2013. So
Wow.
that's a decent deal. But again, no release date for FIFA or not even release window for FIFA or NBA. So we don't know. We had Square
So
Enix.
far,
Yeah.
Nothing exciting, revolutionary.
No,
Skyrim, that's cool.
It looked like the worst versions of those games. It's just you have portable now. So
The portable, I mean, that's a cool option.
It is. That's a very cool option. I agree. Then you had Square Enix bring out all their Dragon Quest games, which is a big deal in Japan. Not really here yet. Dragon Quest 10, 11, and Heroes 1 and 2. They didn't announce...
I haven't even heard of that before.
Dragon Quest's been around since like the late 80s, so it's been a long running series. But no like TBD for North America. They didn't even mention North America, just Japan.
Okay.
But so that's where I feel like, it was the slowest. That's where I was kind of nodding off, was when those guys got up, the translators were really rough. Like, I mean, I know they were translating live, so it's a little tough if they go off script, but that was kind of like...
You think they would have rehearsed a little bit.
Well, it's just the one guy. Like, the one guy, he's like...
oh, yeah, he's working his butt off.
He's not working... No, I mean, there was one guy that was, like, particularly bad at it. If you noticed, like... And so it was like, I don't know if he works with Nintendo anymore after this one. Like, they literally edit him out on their YouTube upload. Some of his stuff, like, and they added a new translator.
No way.
Like, oh man, poor guy. Anyway, so we get back to Nintendo's first party stuff again, and a big deal for a lot of fans of Nintendo is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That was like probably the biggest surprise here. Okay, so I do you know Shulk from Smash Brothers?
Yeah,
that's that franchise. So
okay,
this is a big deal because it feels like there really isn't any hardcore M-rated shooters. It's games like this is the type of hardcore audience Nintendo's looking to attack, is the hardcore RPG players, which is those are the players that bought the 3DS, because the 3DS is known for that. And this is a big deal because this is a franchise people love. Like, people that played Xenoblade Chronicles, it's usually their favorite game ever made.
I know you love this game.
So to see a sequel coming out this year too, it's 2017, it's slated for, was the biggest surprise. It was by far the biggest surprise of the whole thing.
Really?
This is a huge, insanely large game, and to be coming out so soon when we didn't even know it was a thing, until now. This has got a lot of people excited. This, like, every woe they had with the presentation, it's like, well, at least we have this,
Well, that's good.
Well, and it's the perfect game to be able, a long, sprawling RPG to take with you somewhere.
Sure.
But then, really
when does that come out?
It's just slated for this year.
Okay.
And then they transition to a Fire Emblem game. You know how I feel.
Oh yeah.
Fire Emblem Warriors Holiday 2017. That's slated for. Now this, if you remember Hyrule Warriors, it's the same type of structure game. It's just
really? Okay.
It's just with Fire Emblem characters, which is
just
perfect.
To smash them up.
Which is perfect for a game with a bunch of people with big swords. And
it's easy to put out for Nintendo.
There's mages. There's magic. There's archers. So that's a genius idea. It comes out holiday, so that's a nice holiday title for. It's such a specific thing that I've always wanted. Like, it's just like, oh wow, they got this really obscure specific thing I wanted. So that was nice, little fan pleasing there. Because
awesome.
I really loved Hyrule Warriors. So
I know.
Any more, I'll take it. Now
I watched you play it.
now we get to the big one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we get into the big one here. I mean,
I'm excited.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yes.
Holiday 2017.
When I saw for the first time.
Holiday title. This is their big splash holiday Christmas line in the line Black Friday title. So
this morning when I woke up, I didn't watch the. I didn't watch.
You just saw this
Japanese.
On your YouTube feed or something?
Yeah, on my Facebook, and
okay.
I'm like, oh, Mario in an actual city jumping off his hat. Oh no, this is like. Super Mario Galaxy on steroids. Like, yeah, well, I'm all for this all the way.
Even better than Mario Galaxy, you heard in the presentation they specifically said like 64 in Sunshine.
Exactly.
As in it's a sandbox game. Mario Galaxy was a level game.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best thing they could have made, especially for where like the fervor of the fans have had since they showed like a 5 seconds of this game in the original commercial. They're like, bet it better be like 64, it better be like Sunshine, and little did you know it surpasses that with like this this like Spider-Man 2 overworld. Like
exactly. No, that's part of Spider-Man 2 was just swinging around the city. This is going to be amazing.
I think that's legitimately awesome. I think it's the best move they could have done. And also, the game...
Because where else do you go with Mario,
Yeah, the game looks gorgeous. Like, oh my goodness, Like I'm in. I'll listen to the Ice Cubes all day if I can play Mario or Odyssey.
We'll talk about the ice cubes because I actually have. I kind of like that, but
Yeah.
I understand why someone.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, our mom was in the room. She's like, "Why does that matter?" And I'm like, "Well, it shows the sensitivity and how immersive it can make
But
you
yeah,
be."
so Super Mario Odyssey. This is the
yeah.
this is the biggest deal probably of the whole presentation.
This sells the system.
This is
for me.
it. Like I mean, again, I like that it's holiday because what else would they have holiday that's bigger than Mario?
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like. This is a huge deal, and it looks really fun. Like the last 3D Mario game we got was Super Mario 3D World, which wasn't a 3D Mario. It was like it had flagpoles. It was kind of isometric. You couldn't control the camera. It was in the Mushroom Kingdom. This game is not in the Mushroom Kingdom. Thank God. I'm sick of the snow world, the lava world, the cloud world, the grass world, the desert world. This is like, hey, we have this unique idea you never heard of before world.
And that's what Nintendo's good at.
And it's just
great
like
gameplay and just crazy ideas.
This is what they needed, and
Yes.
it blows my mind that I can take this somewhere. What?
You can go on your own
I can
Odyssey.
just pick it up and go somewhere, and that's genius, right? Like it's Mario's Odyssey on a
Tommy.
console that you can take and go on your own journey with. It's like
Think of this. This summer we're going on a road trip.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of us are driving.
Well, it won't be out by then, but.
Well, that's true. Well, Mario Kart then.
But like, well, we'll get to the game I'll be playing, but much later. But that is huge. This game looks amazing. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted because I'm sick of. I didn't like Galaxy as much as Sunshine or 64. It's because of that free roam aspect.
True.
In Sunshine, half the fun is just running around and it's just great. It feels great to move, and it looks super sharp and just controls great. I also like that Bowser's a pimp in this one.
Yes.
With his pimp hat,
which seems oddly appropriate.
Yes, and you got that weird like candy world and the weird forest world and the
I just want
the
I want
South American world. It's just like let's have some goofy fun.
Exactly.
And it's Mario.
But more than anything, just seeing Mario bouncing around an actual city.
Oh my goodness! A lot of
just the contrast is like,
I've heard
oh my gosh.
opinions where people are like, "Oh, Mario in a real world." Ugh, I'm like, he's from Brooklyn. He's a plumber.
Hey, at least he doesn't have a Sherlock Holmes hat on.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But this was it. This is when I saw this. I'm like, okay, anything they show me from now, even if it sucks, like I'm in. This is it, and it's coming out this year.
That is
Mario
awesome.
in the first year. Galaxy took a couple years, So.
Yeah.
A couple small games. We got Sonic Mania and Sonic 2017. Let's see placeholder title there from Sega.
Mania, I was disappointed. I'm like, oh yeah, a new Sonic, awesome.
So
and
it's
just
a
like,
2D Sonic, right? It's the first one in a while. It's the 16-bit graphics. Looks gorgeous, but it's,
sure it does.
And it's designed by people who are making the mobile ports for Sonic.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's good or bad. I've never played them. I don't know if they're good games. But it's not made by Sega. I don't know if that much can say much because the last couple of Sonic games have been the worst thing ever. That's why I'm kind of skirting past because Sonic 2017, which we saw for a millisecond in that like 2-minute like roll, is the 3D Sonic they're coming out with. We have no idea. We've seen no gameplay, but it's
that better be good.
To a lot of people, that's a big deal. That's the next 3D Sonic game,
Well, Sonic's just an awesome, simple idea.
It's on Switch, so we just knew it's on Switch, so good. Now, here's one I know you probably even didn't know or just didn't care about, but actually is a huge deal, is Super Bomberman R.
Okay.
So, you've heard of Bomberman.
Is he a pirate?
You've heard of Bomberman, right? It's
Yes.
a classic character.
I was with the R.
Yeah, I don't know what the R is for. I couldn't tell you. But the thing is, we haven't seen Bomberman in a long time because Konami, who owns the rights, they didn't used to, but they bought the rights of all these great. They own Castlevania, Metal Gear, Bomberman, all these.
Oh wow! Okay.
But they just decided recently, we're done with games. We don't like making games really. But then we get this announcement of Bomberman coming back after like a decade of not getting one entry. He's just been like, oh look, it's Bomberman, and it's like a cameo, and that's it. So this is like a huge deal. A lot of people, because people love Bomberman games. They're fun party games. And especially with the Switch, you can connect up to 8 players.
Sure.
It's perfect for that, and it's a launch title. It's a launch title. It comes out March 3rd. So I would consider this being the other game I pick up if I do at launch, other than Zelda. I'm really like, this is cool because it looks fun and goofy, and just like there's a
What's the
campaign.
premise of the Bomberman games? I've never played one.
I mean, it depends. Now, there's a campaign to this. I don't know how the different campaign is, but usually it's you get
In the past.
you get 4 people into a like squared off room. It's like above angle, like the God angle, and it's just like a puzzle fighter with bombs. You just try to take out the other opponents with bombs. There's obstacles. There's powers up. It's just this classic, fun, timeless
awesome.
experience. The fact that a new one is on Switch, I'm excited. Like
That'll be fun.
and there's a campaign, which that's cool. Like they actually tried. Again, this is like a classic franchise people love that we haven't seen forever, and it's exclusive to the Switch too. It's only on Nintendo Switch, and it comes out launch day.
Good job, Nintendo.
Right? I mean, it's Konami who made it, but nice job, Nintendo, for getting it on there. Now, this one I know you didn't even know. Do you remember this like 8-second like weird dark trailer of these random monsters and just like a 25-star?
Yeah.
So this is the next Shin Megami Tensei title, we presume. It's that series' 25th anniversary, made by Atlus.
This is only a presumption. This isn't.
Well, they didn't
verified?
give a title,
Okay.
but it's in that series. We just don't know if it's the 5th one. It could just be a spin-off. We don't know.
Okay.
Now this is just a big deal because it shows usually these games are on handheld systems only. 3DS gets these games, so
Well, it is a handheld system.
that's the thing. Like this is now like we're getting our huge Mario games, and we're getting these more handheld type games.
Brilliant. It's just genius.
That's exciting to me because it's like sometimes I don't want this bombastic, crazy, large 3D game. I want this simple kind of style. And also with the next game I'm going to talk about, it showed that at least some people are committing to that kind of style. Now after that trailer, because not much to say, there was no gameplay, we don't even know, was my favorite title, other than ARMS, was Project Octopath Traveler from Square Enix.
Are there 8 arms?
Do you remember it looked kind of like 16-bit on like this 3D background RPG?
Not that I recall.
Well, so that's what it was, but it looked like
Okay.
it was like these 16-bit sprites, but
Well, tell me, my question.
yeah.
Is this a pre-existing IP?
No, this is brand new IP from Square Enix.
Okay,
The Final
okay.
Fantasy makers. They don't. This is the RPG Kings, and they're making a brand new one for Switch. And I love the art. It's gorgeous
exciting.
looking. It's these paper cutout 2D sprites and these 3D environments with this real lighting, and it looks and the real water effects and everything. It just looks gorgeous. I'm really excited about it because, again, RPGs are great for public transportation kind of thing because they're
Sure.
long. And this one looks gorgeous, and Square Enix knows how to make RPGs. So I'm excited, and it's a new IP. Never been seen before, brand new. Now, this isn't going to draw in the crowds. There's no release date yet for it. But for people like me, again, this is like this type of hardcore is what they look like they're coming at. Not the shoot guns in the open world. It's this hardcore, the Xenoblade hardcore that they're going for, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, someone like you probably wouldn't even know it existed, except the name is Project Octopath Traveler, whatever that means. What? Anyway, I saw on the reel Minecraft was going to come on here, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that's cool. That'll get people.
That's a lot of kid things. A lot of kids just play Minecraft. If you don't have Minecraft, you're not worth it.
Yep.
So, and the fact that it's mobile and it will be a console level Minecraft experience.
Yes.
The mobile
that's gonna
Minecraft
be
experience.
So
Yeah, that's nothing compared to the actual console experience. So the fact that exists and you can take it with you, and I can't expect that one to. I can expect that game's probably gonna be closer to the 6.5 hour mark battery life than the 2.5. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay, so Minecraft was in the reel. They didn't really talk about, which is surprising. You think they would. No release date. They really didn't talk about. Then another thing you probably won't care about. That weird guy who came on the stage.
Oh yeah, what was that?
That screamed, "Oh, well, that didn't work."
I kind of zoned out a little bit.
So he's from Grasshopper. They have one franchise people loves, and it's called No More Heroes. And that's what that guy was from. That picture from No More Heroes. That's a Wii franchise, fun action, kind of Bayonetta style game. People love that game. They didn't really say anything about it. We just know it's a No More Heroes project because it has the character in it. But that got people excited that played those games. It's just not that many people played them. But it was like an action game that used motion control in a fun way, like a hardcore way. So exciting, cool. We haven't seen a game from them since the Wii. So
You know what? I appreciate games that actually take advantage of Nintendo's, I don't want to call it gimmick, but their thing. The thing that makes them
at
unique.
this point, the Switch has 40 gimmicks. So its gimmick is it has a lot of gimmicks. You know, like.
Well, I don't even know if it constitutes as a gimmick any longer. It's just revolutionizing the way you interact with game systems.
It's just here's a million features that make games more immersive and fun, and
Exactly.
unique experiences.
Going outside the box.
I've pretty much listed. There's a lot more games I could list, and I'll probably get into them a little bit. This is just ones I had an opinion on. You know, if there's any other game you cared about before we get into the big one.
Oh, let's go to the big one,
Okay.
because that one is another selling point for me.
This is it. This is a launch. This is a launch title.
Yes.
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild will be out day one. That is
And
cool.
it's also available on the Wii U, right?
It will be, I believe, the same day, March 3rd, on the Wii U. No feature differences in those two games. It's just
Yeah.
performance differences. So Wii U's
Kinda weird.
The Wii U's gonna chug a little bit. The Wii U's gonna look a little worse. Texture pop-up's gonna be a little worse,
Sure.
and it's not portable. The fact
Yeah.
that Zelda's gonna be portable.
Yeah, that's just...
That game looks gorgeous, but this is the biggest thing. I don't know how much you followed this game trailer-wise.
This is the one I've looked at the most
This
out of
trailer
all the games.
This is the best trailers Nintendo's had for their major titles. The Mario trailer was incredible. The Splatoon trailer was great, but this trailer was a whole nother level. Like I almost got
Agreed.
emotional.
It's like a movie.
Like, ugh. Like
you were crying there.
like when we never see Zelda have personality and she had or emotion. She usually just this stuck-up royal like princess. That's nice. This is, and also I was gonna say, this is the first trailer that implemented story into it. We haven't seen
Yes.
any story in any of the trailers so far. It's just look at this world, how many things you can do with it. But we never got a taste of what the story's gonna be like until this trailer. And I gotta say, this story looks freaking cool. Like this mature, dark, gritty, like survival, like apocalypse kind of story. What do you think about it? For someone who hasn't really, you're not really a Zelda. You really haven't played any Zelda games. How does this speak to
My
you?
experience with Zelda is Super Smash
Yeah,
Brothers.
well, how does this speak to you?
What I love about this is just the sprawling adventure that it promises, and the gorgeous Miyazaki-like art design.
That logo looks straight from like My Neighbor Totoro. Like
Exactly. And I know this is something small, but I love the way in the trailer he's jumping around and whips out his arrow and just targets
gosh.
and takes people out. It's just like,
And-
oh, that looks so fun.
This is the first Zelda game ever like this as well. This game bucks all the conventions that it's set up since Ocarina. So
Really?
So let's say you want to Switch, but you haven't played a Zelda
let
game.
me clarify something. This game, you don't have to follow a certain path, right? You just go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a story, so there are beats you hit, but like
Okay.
what they've said is if you won, you can go straight to the final boss. You know what I mean? But you're gonna lose. Like that's kind
Yeah,
of
because you're not upgraded or anything.
So this game looks like people are complaining about specs. This game's all I need. I don't need anything prettier. That looks pretty enough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The fact
Yeah.
that you can you can climb any surface in this game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally any surface. There's no game that has that much functionality.
Shield surfing.
The fact that you can do that is just every wall you can climb. Now, if they're too tall, you'll run out of stamina and you'll fall. But just like the possibilities are wide open. Now, you didn't watch the Nintendo North American treehouse of this game. That's the only one I'd recommend you to watch out of
Okay,
all of them
I
they
will.
did today. If you can sift through and find it, because it went into the depth of like certain things are so deep. You just see like cranes walking around. You just see a fox. You just see. And if you can just steal you can.
It's a world.
You can tame animals in this. You can tame a dog. You drop an apple near a dog, it eats it, and it starts following you around and helps you hunt. You can tame a horse. You can just ride any horse after you tame it. But at first, it's a little hard to control. You can take it to stables. There's just stables, like, people, town villages, take it to a stable. It then gets a saddle, and it gets nicer to you. And it's just like, super cool. Like all this depth of like this small mechanic. It's probably not the biggest thing in the world, but it just the zeroes in. It gets as
It
deep
all
as you
adds
want.
up to making a realistic, immersive experience.
This is from someone who's followed Nintendo for a while. This is their most ambitious title I've ever seen them make. Because the other Zelda games are not like this. They're linear, most of them. It's path A to B. It's a big world, but it's stuck between loading screens. There's no loading screens in this game.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? You just happen to find a dungeon. It's not like you made it to the thing. You just happen to come across one. You go into it. You just feel it out. If it's too hard, you leave.
That aspect of exploration.
Oh my goodness.
That's really, what No Man's Sky promised the world.
Oh, don't even know. Biggest thing, though, out of everything story-wise, is this is the first Zelda with voice acting.
That's going to be
Ever.
great.
Now, what a great way to make it more like cinematic and feel more special. There's actual voice acting. You can. This is a little different voice acting. You can come back on that in a second. You can just find villagers being attacked by enemies and save them. They're just randomly in the wild. You come up across villagers like.
Going back to Spider-Man 2, right?
Except it's not scripted. It's just there's weather. There's a dynamic weather system, and that just happens. It rains, it pours, a dust storm. It just can happen. There's a temperature gauge. There's stealth gauge of how much noise because you can sneak up on people. There's the temperature gauge is for if it's too cold and you don't have enough layers on. Link will get cold and lose health.
Really?
It gets
Wow.
that, or you're in the desert and he has too many layers on. He starts to overheat and oh my goodness. Anyway,
See, this is a game you can just sink your teeth into and just
it's
spend
a
a couple
launch
weekends just.
title.
It's awesome.
So voice acting though, how do you feel about the voice acting?
I mean, that's one of the weaknesses of Nintendo games, in my opinion.
They don't have story. They don't focus on story, right?
It's not character driven. It's gameplay driven, which is awesome, which they're good at. But in the Mario games, like Super Mario Galaxy, it's just
Well, that's fine. I don't want Mario to be, we have to save the. I don't want that. That's weird. But with Zelda, I feel like, oh yeah, this is an epic tale. That's the difference.
Yes.
The tone's different.
Yeah.
So we should have this aspect to it. But again,
And is it gonna have a live orchestra score?
yeah.
Oh right.
So I was gonna bring up one thing. This Zelda in this game, I'm in love with her. This is the best Zelda design ever because she doesn't look like this just bland faced princess like she looks in every game.
I wasn't even sure it was her at first.
I'm in love with her. She's my favorite. I'll buy the game just for her. I got more excited of that than anything else the trailer showed. It was just oh my god! And look at the villages. They look so cool and
yes.
they look real. People lived in it, and something horrible happened in this world. That there's people it kind of people are retreating to these far out lands because Calamity Ganon's there, and he's somehow barriered into the Hyrule Castle, the ruins of it. I can't stop talking about Zelda. Speaking of Zelda, they also announced the amiibo line for this game specifically. So there's going to be 5
Reaching into your pockets.
or 6 amiibos from this one, but these are the highest detail. I don't know if you can pull up a picture, Google Breath of the Wild Zelda amiibos. These are the most highly detailed amiibos ever made. One of them is posable. There's a Bokoblin one. There's the Guardian one, which is that thing that shoots lasers. There's a Zelda one. There's a Link riding a Pono one, and there's a Link shooting the arrow one.
Wow, that Guardian is really, really intricate.
Right? And that's just a figure. It's supposed to just be an amiibo. You NFC it. No, you also get this really nice looking figure as well. These are the nicest by far.
That Zelda one is bad.
These are the highest quality amiibos they've ever made by miles.
I know I complained about not just giving us an upgraded Mario Kart, but can they give us an upgraded Super Smash Brothers with these?
Well, rebuy
skins?
amiibos? No, don't make me do that. I can't do. They still haven't finished.
No, these character designs in Smash.
Oh well, Smash is supposed to be, kind of homogenized.
Yeah.
Just because that would look weird, and also has to move really smooth.
Zero Suit Samus.
So then they announced 2 special edition, collector editions of this game. It's the only collector edition they've announced of any of their games.
I saw that, yeah.
The special edition comes with a Switch carrying case that also holds games, which is really cool. It's like a legitimate piece.
Need that, yeah.
It's usually like 25, but it looks like a $25 piece. It's a hard case, really cool. Comes with a weathered map of the game map.
Are you getting this, Tom? Are you getting this?
The special edition?
Oh, yeah.
It's sold out. I couldn't get it.
Oh, okay.
So they have a weathered, like this textured weathered map of the game map, which is really cool. They have a 24-track CD with it,
Jeez.
a collector's coin, and then the game, obviously. And the game cases look cool. They're really sleek-looking game cases. And that's $99.99, so it's $40 more than the regular version. For all
Yeah, but
that.
if you're a Link fan, if you're a Legend of Zelda person,
Well, there's one more.
This is gonna do
for
it for
another
you.
$30 on top of that.
oh,
You can get everything I just mentioned, plus I believe it's like a 10-inch Master Sword statue.
oh my.
So that's $129.99. Now that was sold
Put
out
that on
even
your
quicker.
shelf.
So I couldn't get them, but I'm glad because it's not $40 more worth it. You know what I mean? Maybe it is, but maybe a carrying case and soundtrack, and it's pretty good. And yeah,
That's pretty good.
The soundtrack's gorgeous. You listen to the trailer. I mean, geez, like wow. And
I've always enjoyed the Legend of Zelda music,
yeah,
too.
let me just one thing they're doing different in this game with the music is, it's usually when you're just wandering around, it's just like a couple piano notes and like, whatever, some strings. It's really, but if like you come across a guardian just in the wild, it cues the music to ramp up and get more like stressful, and it just, you walk into it and it's just like, oh, the music, it's not like there's loading screen or anything. It's just like, it just organically, oh, this thing is dangerous. Now the music is to reflect that, which is just like
good.
more
like
immersive.
like a cinematic experience.
It's even more immersive because of that. Now, from a lot of the people I've been, listening to, I've heard a lot of disappointment in this launch lineup. There's a lot of hee-hawing about how, wow, Nintendo, they're back at it again, failing us again. But it's just like, do people really know how launch lineup works? Because never are launch lineups good. That's the point, because the games aren't made yet. You know what I mean? So I got a list of the Xbox One and PS4 launch lineups to compare, because obviously that's what you're comparing it to. And I just care about exclusives because, it's kind of unfair to do the games that come out every November because it's launching in March. It's kind of hard to tell. So of course,
Sure.
All these, they got their Madden, FIFA, 2K, NBA Lives. Get like 9 games that are like that, Call of Duties. It's just because those consoles launched in November, they got those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's look at PS4 exclusive launch titles that were in retail stores. Okay, ready for this? Killzone Shadowfall and Knack. That's it. Other than that, it's Just Dance, it's Skylanders, it's all that stuff is on the Switch, just the newer ones. That is the only 2 exclusive PS4 launch titles you could buy in a store. Okay, so then we have Xbox One. Xbox One did much better than PS4, and yet it sells worse. Xbox One had Zoo Tycoon. Ooh, there you go.
One sold worse for other reasons.
Well, yeah. Crimson Dragon, that one failed. Dead Rising 3, that was a decent launch title of a big series. We had Forza Motorsports 5, that's a niche title, but a lot of people like it. Killer Instinct, that's a Rareware property. That's a cool game. Loco Cycle, that was like rated 1 out of 10. Everyone hated it. And then they had Power Star Golf and Rise Son of Rome. And that's their launch title exclusives. Now that one was better.
They didn't have the Master Chief Collection?
No, not at launch.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was
I thought they had
I think
that.
it was a year after Xbox One launched.
Oh, man, that's dumb. They should launch with that.
Let's look at the Switch launch exclusive. Now this is only launch exclusive. I'm not counting, ARMS or Mario Kart. I'm only talking about day one. 1-2 Switch, which is fine. It's a fun game,
Yeah.
We have Super Bomberman R, which is a big deal to a lot of people, and I'm excited for it. It's a fun game. We had a Tetris game, a new Tetris game. Fine, cool. But then we had also The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Now
That's all you need.
I don't think anything I mentioned in PS4, Xbox One anywhere near as good as that. And also, there was 4 games in that were exclusive to the Switch launch day. And Xbox One had what, like 6, and then PS4 had 2. How is this like miles?
Lukewarm reception is the presentation's fault. It didn't hype anything.
Like, how is that miles worse than anything? I just don't understand.
It's not. It's the presentation.
Right? And then we just look at launch year, and I see, like, what do people want? I see the brand new 3D Mario main series installment and the brand new Zelda installment in the same year. Already, that's like the best. Like, that we'll look back on this year as like, oh, those are the two of the best games. And then you got a new Splatoon entry, which is also one of the most popular series. We have Xenoblade Chronicles, which is one of their most like beloved hardcore series. It's just like this year looks. I mean, the third parties aren't there, but they're still good games. But
think of it this way: like big tentpole movies, like the Marvel movie studios, they put 2 to 3 huge movies out a year, and everyone's fine with that. So in this first year, there's 2 or 3 awesome games. That's like doing their job, Nintendo.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, launch years are never as good as later, but maybe this is probably one of the best launch years of any console. Like when N64 launched, it had Mario 64 at launch. That was the only game that launched with it. There was no third-party games with N64. Mario 64 was literally the only game you could buy for N64 when it launched. And then Zelda came out, I believe, 3 years later. Ocarina came out in 1998. And it's just like, we're getting both at the same time, Zelda at launch. You know what I mean? I don't know how...
Now, Tommy, can we shift the conversation a bit?
Sure.
I'm curious.
Yes.
After the launch year, what do you want to see from the Switch in terms of games?
Okay, so there's a couple things the Wii U did not support, and that was Metroid and F-Zero. Those franchises were not there. Animal Crossing was not there. I just want to see all their franchise get the support they deserve because these are great franchises. Wii U did not make any of those 3 games in a main series fashion. I want a new Star Fox because I want one that they took time on. You know what I mean? Like, I want that.
I want like Rogue One.
I want
the
a Star
Fox
Wars
story
movie with Star Fox characters.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I want that. I'm not too...
Literal dog
No,
fights.
we have Retro Studios, which is the only company that's a second party that we know is developing for the Switch, essentially, that we did not hear about their game yet. They didn't talk about their game. They finished Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze in November of 2013, and they've been working on whatever this project is since. So it's been... Who knows what it could be? It's 4 years of one game developing. They helped a little bit with Zelda and Mario Maker, but not Mario Maker, Mario Kart. But really, they've just been on this one game, and Retro Studios is the company that made Metroid Prime.
Oh yeah,
so,
I know.
And Donkey Kong Country, which are some of my favorite franchises. So this company is known to be great, and yet we haven't heard about them. We haven't heard from them since 2013.
Imagine Metroid on the go.
Well, who knows, right? I did have one more list because this. Just before we get back to what you want to see in the Switch as well, because I want to see a Smash too. This Switch launch looks like the Wii. It looks like, which is their most successful console ever. The Wii had Twilight Princess, a Zelda game at launch. The Wii had had a new IP that was kind of weird in Excite Truck, like ARMS kind of. It had Wii Play, Wii Sports. That's your 1-2 switch kind of thing.
And they were successful.
And that's about, like, I'm looking at the list. That's really it that people remember that are exclusives. We have SpongeBob, SquarePants, Creature from the... they have Madden, that kind of stuff. But those 3 are really it. And we did pretty good, Like, I'm not going to... And 1-2 Switch, I could see being a good casual hit.
Yeah, but the Wii was a phenomenon that transcended gaming culture. It was in retirement homes.
I'm just saying
everywhere. This won't
the people that watched a presentation like this for the Wii wasn't those type of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It also had WarioWare Smooth Moves at launch for Japan, but not in North America. But I'm just saying, it did well, and this Zelda game looks better than Twilight Princess.
For sure.
So anyway, I think for a Switch, I really just want the franchises we had and we didn't get on the Wii U, because really the Wii U, the ones we got on the Wii U, other than Star Fox, I'm like totally satisfied with. They were all really great, and if they want to come out on the Switch, just do the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe treatment, because again, Smash Brothers was the best one. They like perfected it. You know what I mean? Just I don't really. I just want the stuff I didn't get. I want the Metroid. Metroid, HD Metroid. We haven't got an nothing HD for Metroid yet. Metroid Other M was the last Metroid game we got, other than the one on 3DS that no one liked. So
it wasn't even really a Metroid game.
It wasn't really a Metroid game. Yeah. So okay.
Insult.
So what are your hopes? Are they what's your hopes for 2018, 2019 for Switch? Because 2017 again, I think we're both happy with. I think overall we're not disappointed with this launch lineup. It feels like we're pretty. Oh, are people really buying a game every 2 weeks? Is that what you want? This is
Exactly.
There are 4 main huge Nintendo franchises coming out this year. That's all games I want to buy. 4 games.
Look, if they have the money to buy a game every 2 weeks, I need to be their friend.
Right, exactly.
And they have a time machine as well, because obviously they're not adults
But
with a job.
people are upset. I've heard a lot of people. Again, I agree
Well,
that this could have been worse.
Do you know where you heard these people from? It's on the internet. You know what I mean?
I know.
We gotta have something sensational to say
Anyway,
to
okay.
have your voice out there.
Your hopes. That's right.
My hopes. Okay. Nintendo Switch has a unique ability to promote exploration. Just like the Pokemon Go app, right?
Yes.
Got people moving.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to be in wonder, in awe. I want some kind of game that promotes, maybe not wandering around your
I
neighborhood
don't think
with
that
Nintendo
it doesn't
Switch.
have a GPS. I don't know if it could track you. It doesn't have a GPS built in.
Well, that's not what I'm asking,
Okay.
right? But I want something that is just beautiful to look at,
We got Zelda.
and a game that has a rich world that is a new IP. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I want No Man's Sky, but done right.
So you want sci-fi Zelda. So like a
Yes, yes.
So you want Metroid.
Yeah, but Metroid was always very planet side.
Well, we have
know?
no idea. You know.
The Prime games. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I want dogs. I want what Dinosaur Planet, Star Fox Adventures almost was gonna be. Like you went in space and then you're on a planet, but they kind of failed at that.
Well, it wasn't a Star Fox game at first.
It was not. Yes. So I don't have a specific one. Of course, Smash. Sure.
But so you're like, for a launch year, you look at this and you go, wow, you know what? That's pretty good. I like that.
The thing I always have wanted with Nintendo is a Pokemon fight game that's like Smash Brothers.
Well, the Pokken Tournament's great. It's great.
I haven't played it.
It's over there.
So
It's sitting
I don't
over
know.
there. It's great.
Is that what it is?
I mean, it's 1-on-1, but it's great.
Okay.
You know, it's the best Pokemon that's ever looked model-wise because they're the most detailed. So and they're made by the people who make Tekken, so it's like a fighting game that's made well. So yeah, I mean, now we did not hear any word of Pokemon here. That was interesting. No Pokemon. Not one.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Not one inkling from maybe like a Pokemon Sun Moon, and then they come out with Stars and they put it on the Switch. That was a rumor. You know, the Detective Pikachu game. Who knows?
Yeah.
A new Pokemon type game. You know, like a Pokemon Snap kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, you know, one last thing I would like to see, and it kind of goes along with what you were saying. I want proper representation of their major franchises.
Well, yeah. That's the Metroid's 30th anniversary came and went. Nothing. Now here's a game.
But a better Star Fox, like you said, F-Zero. What else?
I mean, Animal Crossing. There was no Wii U game.
Yeah, I don't really care anyway.
But it is a premier franchise for them.
Yeah, I know.
So another type of game, I don't know what this would be, but like a game that when you put it in your TV, it's different from when you take it out. Like there's this is the portable version. You know what I mean? Like and then what you do while you're on the bus and you come back affects how it is when you put it in the dock. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's,
when it's on the TV, you're in a larger universe, but when you pull it out, you're in a pocket universe that has some cause and effect.
Like while you're out on the bus, you're gaining whatever points, experience. I have no idea. Items.
Or you're unlocking things in the larger world.
Yeah, exactly. Just something where it's a different experience when you take it out, and it affects the main experience.
I think this goes along with what I was saying before. Like Nintendo, I love when they have games that cater to their unique gameplay and console design.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, this is a
what we're
pretty
looking
unique
for.
console. There's nothing like this. One big thing that wasn't even brought up at this presentation was Virtual Console.
Oh yeah.
Now we know it's there. Of course it's there.
They're gonna make money from it somehow.
Why wasn't it there? You know what I mean? What is the ambition of this console's virtual console? What about the ones I bought on Wii U? How do they transfer over? Do they transfer
Sure.
over? I have no
Right.
idea. The only thing we do know, and this will be kind of in part 2 when we discuss this a little further, is we know there's going to be NES and SNES ones because in their new online paid program, every month you get one of those, right? So you get one free every month, an NES or SNES game. The coolest thing though is in the SNES games, I think they confirmed it for some SNES games. I don't think the NES ones. There will be brand new online functionality for these
Oh my
for these
gosh.
Super Nintendo games.
Oh my gosh.
So you
that
could
is
be playing
amazing.
Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo online. Again,
Yes.
that's how I read it. Again, it's what they said in their press release. No concrete. Again, they didn't talk about it at all. I have no idea that, big rumor was GameCube Virtual Console. Nothing. So I don't know. But that was like, wait, they're going to, they announced Ultra Street Fighter 2 Turbo. They announced that for Switch. It's a launch title, or maybe not launch, but that's a SNES game. But it's a brand new SNES game. Like they added new characters like 25 years after the fact, and like playing a SNES game online like that, that's a thing that they played on the Treehouse live stream. They played Street Fighter 2. It's like, what is going on?
That is amazing. That's a big selling point if that's true.
Yeah, I really think that. Yeah.
There's more launch games for you. Like, oh, I haven't played this in forever. Now I can play it online.
I really hope that I don't have to rebuy the ones I've bought though.
Sure.
Or at least it's cheaper. But I
Yeah.
think that's it. Again, I wish they the presentation was the weakest part. The actual games they showed off were great.
There was no hype in
The
it.
trailers
there was no
were great.
energy.
It just felt like a business thing, and I was like,
One thing I did like, and it was corny, but I liked all the snapping.
Well, Nintendo is. You haven't watched their directs, but they are goofy and corny. They're just silly jokes.
Well, that's why I appreciated all the
But
snapping.
one thing I wanted to mention real quick. Everyone you saw presenting, we've never seen before in Nintendo.
Oh.
We've never seen Kimishima. He's the brand new CEO after Satoru Iwata died in 2015. We haven't seen him in public once. He's never made a public
right.
appearance until now. That was the first guy that came
This
out.
is the Ricky Ricardo guy?
No, that was the first one. That's the CEO.
Oh, okay,
that guy
okay,
was the CEO. This Ricky Ricardo guy, never seen him. No one on stage has ever talked to the fans this time,
Interesting.
except till the end when
You could tell.
Reggie Fils-Aimé come with Miyamoto and Aonuma. Those are the three guys we always see. So for like the last 5 minutes, everyone else, these are new faces to us, which is kind of cool. This is what they should be doing. I had no idea these people. I thought only 4 people worked there. Like, you know what I mean? Like these are and these are important people. These are like the heads of all the software development and head of the Switch. Like these aren't like nothing. Koizumi, the Ricky Ricardo guy, he's been the head of 3D Mario since Sunshine.
Oh, wow.
He's been making them. Miyamoto doesn't make them. He doesn't direct them. He's just executive producer. Like this is the guy we should have known about, and I think he's fun. I think he's silly. I think he's this like.
He had a certain charm, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, he wasn't a problem. It was just the pacing, the
no,
direction,
but that was
the
the most
lighting,
interesting
everything.
part. Is Nintendo fans didn't know these people. These hardcore Nintendo fans like, who's this guy? Oh my goodness, he's a big deal. What, So that was also interesting part of it, but it kind of like we didn't have the rapport. They weren't probably used to doing it because they've never done it. So yeah, I think the presentation was the weakest part, but the actual game lineup for 2017 has me really like, I don't know how I'm gonna have money for this. Fire Emblem Warriors, I'm buying. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I want to buy. Mario Odyssey, I'm buying. Splatoon 2, I'm buying. Mario Kart 8, I want to buy. ARMS, I would try it. ARMS.
I'm okay. I'll try it when you have it.
Okay, what's one you would want to buy the most?
Oh, I'm probably leaning more towards Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay, so over Zelda.
Yeah, but just because I feel like I would have more time to play it.
Okay.
Zelda's so rich, like I want to do that during the summer.
By the way, I did pre-order a Switch today and Zelda. And there's
you
no
can
more
pre-order them today?
There is no pre-orders left. They're all sold out.
Wow.
I got it in.
Wow.
Thank you, Target.
Yes.
So I got myself a Switch. and I got myself Zelda, and that's all I need. That's all. It really is all I need.
True. That'll take you for a while.
So I think that's it for part 1. I think part 2 we'll talk about the actual hardware. We didn't really get into the Joy-Cons. We didn't really get into the actual specs.
I really look forward to this part because the joysticks, all the tangible features of it, and how, like, from the first trailer, all the friends moving around and you take it out. That is what I'm excited about, and can't wait to talk about that part.
Part 2, man. I mean, we've already gone for over an hour. Good luck.
Well, I have a feeling that in Nerd News segments throughout this next year, we'll be continuing to talk about Nintendo Switch.
I've never bought a Nintendo system at launch. Wii U was the only one I bought, and I bought it a year afterwards. So
I got the Wii. That was fun.
This is a new experience for me. I've never been on the cusp of something new. I'm just excited to have something new when it's out. Oh my goodness. And it's cool. It's this cool device that can do everything. We'll get into how it can do everything next time.
Before we go, why don't you tell our listeners how to contact us, give us their thoughts. I want to hear what they want to see from their launch year, what's missing, or also what do they want to see beyond this launch year.
Well, we got the comment section. Definitely comment on there. We got a Gmail email account, completingtheshelf@gmail.com. I know. I am hyped more than ever because we know more than Zelda. We've only known Zelda for this console. We knew nothing else that was definitively on this. And that's, even though Zelda could have been all, and I'd been fine. But that's what's exciting. I'm super excited.
Does this make up for your 2016?
I still have to spend money, you know. It's just a great 2017, sweet.